1, 2, 3, 4. Palapalooza. Palapalooza. We're talking to you. I'm Palapalooza. Hey! Word! El Cajon, the anus of San Diego.
Dude, I had to park below your driveway because I'm like, I'm gonna get creamed by this guy if he comes up here.
The trash guy.
Yeah,
that's tomorrow. Tuesday and Thursday, I think.
For you guys, yeah. I don't know. I almost got hit by one on the way here.
Really?
Dude, he's like swerving all over the place.
You're in El Cajon, right? Rancho San Diego.
Yeah, Rancho. I don't like to think of it as El Cajon just because it's such an isolated little. We call it the La Jolla of the East.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, someone else told me that. I just kind of, I was like, I like that. I'm going with it.
Yeah, I've heard it called something else. I've heard it called Rancho Baghdad.
Yeah, little Chaldea.
Yeah, and that's not to hate on anyone, but there is a large Middle Eastern community out here in El Cajon, especially Rancho San Diego, huh?
Yeah,
but the ballers out in Rancho.
I know, dude. Like they all own like a car dealership or like 14 strip
or
malls or something. It's ridiculous. It's cool though. They love us. I mean, favorite place to eat is Sahara over there.
Sahara?
Sahara. It's a Mediterranean restaurant. It's amazing.
Okay, in Rancho.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
Pretty much everybody who comes to me to record, I suggest that, and then within the month they're like, hey man, I'm in your area, can I stop by? I was like, you're getting Sahara, aren't you?
And they're hooked, huh?
It's always.
God, what was the place I used to go to there for a little bit? Nicky Rotten's.
That place was good,
but it's shut down.
I know.
It was dope.
I didn't even realize they were shutting down. They just kind of like put out a bulletin one day and I was like, oh yeah, they had an amazing happy hour. And
they got bought out by, I want to say, a Middle Eastern kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it a hookah lounge or something?
Yeah, something like that. I think there was a hookah lounge right next door. I don't know. That place is always kind of buried. Like you have to know it's there.
Off Hamishaw there.
Yeah, their sign wasn't big enough to be like, hey, I'm going to go to that place.
I feel like it was always busy. They had the UFC nights, and then they had live music in the back. A lot of like cover band type stuff, I
never caught anyone there.
No?
No, weird.
Always like cover bands. I DJ'd there one time in that back area. But anyways, El Cajon talk, ladies and gentlemen. El Cajon is the anus of San Diego, I always say here on Palapalooza.
El Cajon? That's the anus of San Diego.
Sean Tolley is the owner of Clarity Recordings and Rancho San Diego. You are an engineer, you are a producer, you are a musician, you are a songwriter, you are a singer, you are a...
Oh, unreal.
Human being. You are coronavirus free.
I am coronavirus free.
You are.
This has been ridiculous.
The coronavirus scare. Let's just talk about coronavirus for like 90 minutes. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm sure because there's not enough of that on Facebook, right?
It's everywhere, right?
There's not enough of that in line at Costco buying 17 years worth of toilet paper.
Dude, what's up with toilet paper being sold out? How does that work into coronavirus?
I don't know. I posted a meme about it yesterday, and somebody said, "Oh man, I wouldn't be surprised if this was sponsored by Charmin." I'm like,
I really don't understand. I get the hand sanitizer being sold out, but what the hell's the deal with the toilet paper?
They're just worried that if they get quarantined,
they're not going to be able to wipe their ass.
They're not going to be able to do anything. Like they're buying like bottled water. I'm like, dude, literally
tap water, dude.
We have tap water. Like, is it great? No, but it's gonna be fine to hydrate you.
I think about that too. I'll be honest. It's crossed my mind. All the media scare. I have thought like, holy shit, what if we can't leave our house for a week? And I've talked to my wife about, hey, maybe we should get like non-perishable food that you can store for and it stays good. And I don't know, dude.
That makes, like my roommate came home and he bought like a bag of rice and like a bunch of canned goods. And I'm like, all right, that makes sense. I don't understand the bottled water. And then he started drinking it. I was like, I thought this is for your Corona thing. It's like, okay, whatever, man.
Instantly. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a lot of hype. I can't help but think it's like a government created virus or something just to create a
It's just a media thing, man. The media latches onto something, and you can almost always immediately dismiss it as not being real or serious.
Right.
It's just like, all right, who's making money off this?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I feel like there's like every decade there's that scare, right? Like there was SARS, right? And then there was the swine flu, and then there was the bird flu, and
Ebola.
Ebola.
We were just talking about that one yesterday because I don't even remember who, but somebody was saying, "Hey, do you not think this is a real big deal?" I'm like, no. Like literally, when we were in high school, everybody said, "Oh man, we're all gonna get Ebola and die," and I'm like, "We didn't.
We're here."
What do you know?
I always think to myself, like, how many people do I know that have coronavirus? Or my immediate group? Like, take the media hype out of it. And do I know anyone that has corona? No.
Yeah.
So it couldn't be that gnarly.
Well, even then, dude, it's literally like, I don't know if you saw the Dr. Drew thing where he's freaking out on somebody.
Yeah, he was pissed at the media, right?
He's right, dude. It's a mild thing that is basically the flu with a couple different minor symptoms.
Yeah. A different strand of the flu, right?
Yeah, that's all it is.
And they
literally, I got crazy sick in the beginning of February. So can I say I'm coronavirus free? Probably not. But, I'm still here.
Yeah, you survived.
I mean, dude, I get sick once every 5 years, and that hit me like a truck.
Did you get scared?
No, because
was that during the hype?
It wasn't even. They weren't making a big deal about it yet.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was immediately like, "Oh man, what is this?" Like I'm even when I do get sick, like once every 3 to 5 years, I'm never sidelined in bed. Literally, so the day that I was supposed to come here last month,
it
that
was raining.
It was raining. So whatever. That day, I wound up basically sleeping 16 hours.
Really?
And I that's not me.
Wow. Your body needed it.
Who knows?
Needed to shut down.
It was like, hey, this is bad.
Yeah.
You should go get some rest.
How many projects are you working on right now? You record out there, a home-based studio, right? Clarity Recordings.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah, there you go.
Check it out. How many projects do you have? I hear from all sorts of locals that you're staying busy, dude, which is awesome. We had The Industry on. We had Lost Dakota on.
Yeah.
You've recorded?
I think I'm currently wrapping up production on 3, maybe 4 different full lengths.
Wow.
And then I've got like a handful of EPs in too. I mean, literally, like sometime in 2017, it might have been mid-year.
Yeah.
Something clicked, and all of a sudden, I was just getting nonstop work, and it's been crazy.
Who are the current projects?
Currently, let's see. I'm wrapping up on a pair of metal bands. I've got Monarch and Theosis in, and then I've got a band called Never Say Die. They're brand new.
Okay.
Tony Jaw. He's a pretty cool dude.
Tony Jaw.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
Yeah, he's
I'm always
rad.
attracted to cool names. I just had Josh Raven on from Dockhammer.
Yeah, we're
Josh Raven.
Good
name.
I was thinking about this like a couple weeks ago. It's like, man, if you got a good name, that's like half the battle.
Right. A little bit, huh?
Yeah. It's like, like I feel like the short syllable last names, it's just like, all right, they're in.
Yeah.
Where, you got me with like the British surname. It's like
Tolley.
You're like, yeah. Okay. What do you do? I don't know.
I feel like Troy Cook could be like a country singer. And there is one.
I could see
Troy
that.
Cook Jr. Mitch said that to me.
Really?
There's a Troy Cook Jr. out there, dude, that's just stealing all my thunder.
Man, you got to go rip some lyrics.
Yeah.
Just like work them into a pop punk song.
I know, right?
Be like, yeah, this could totally. I'm writing about my tractor, but I'm. I don't know. I don't know what modern country singers sing about.
Do you record country? You don't limit yourself to one genre. So you listed, you're working with metal bands. You obviously have some pop punk experience, emo. You have your own projects that I would assume you're a little more comfortable with what you've played.
Yeah, I mean, so right now I've got, obviously I've got those metal bands in. I've got a couple pop punk things with Never Say Die. I've got The Industry back in already.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck those kids. No, just kidding.
I heard about the beef.
Did you? What'd they say?
He like accidentally commented on something and meant to have it be a joke to somebody else, and you were like, "What?"
Oh shit! I thought he was just fucking with me, but that's a good way to cover it. Yeah, no, it's he covered it fine.
No, he's what, Anthony? Anthony's a little. He's an instigator, man.
Let's play them. You know, I really like this. This is The Blood by The Industry. Honestly, I'm not a big fan.
I feel like that's the new inside joke.
Not a big fan.
That's the inside joke now for the rest of the year.
Right. And I saw you. That's the last time I saw you and Regina. Was at their show at the Moreau.
Yeah, that was a good show.
With Infinite Signal. But yeah, so anyways, where do we start with you, buddy? You've been around, dude, right? You've been playing in bands. We got to shout out Stereo Summer, right? Was kind of your main
That was probably the
project.
One of the bigger ones. I was in probably the two bigger ones were Stereo Summer and Pensive.
Stereo Summer's sick, man. I really didn't get into them until recently, and I'll play a little bit of this. This is you singing.
Make great lovers, but you're a better liar, and you turned everything to
Kind of Fall Out Boy a little bit. That's kind of what I hear. I hate to compare bands, but you always have to, right?
Actually, I got that a lot, strangely.
Good production, though. Did you record this?
No, but we did a lot of pre-pro at my place.
Yeah, I was rocking this out.
Sorry,
That's good stuff.
my rehearsal space at the time, not my place. It was actually my buddy Dave, the guitarist of Stereo.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your rehearsal spot at?
It was his house up in Encinitas, but
Okay.
his parents pretty much gave him full reign of the upstairs above like a 3-car garage, and we went crazy.
Really?
Yeah, he had a blast.
That's cool.
That honestly, that place was home for 5 years, 6 years.
When were you active with, when was Stereo Summer active?
Let's see. We started 2007, and we
Okay.
were pretty heavily active through the end of 2011. And then I think
Okay.
we played a handful of shows in 2012. I'm not sure if we played in 2013.
Okay.
And then my bassist was also the lead singer of the Califaction, which is another band I'm in
Okay.
that
Cool.
someday may actually release another album. He lives in Denver at the moment, so it's a little tricky.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
You're currently in Califaction?
Yeah. I mean, it's just not like
Hiatus a little
it's
bit?
not an active band. Like even
Okay.
Stereo's got unreleased stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody's got unreleased stuff, and it's all around the time that I started recording. So I've got bits and pieces that I could piece together, but it's just like, I wonder if this is going to ever happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just with everything else I'm working on, it's just so hard to find time to do my own thing.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to bring it way back to Troy's Bucket, too. We
Oh,
got to shout
man.
out Troy's Bucket.
Bo.
When was that? 99? 2000?
Yeah, that was,
Something like
let's
that?
see. I think 2002 is when I joined them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually only in the band for 7 months. I'm currently tracking Bo.
Oh, he was the singer, right?
Yeah, I'm currently tracking his current band. That it's been his band for at least 10 years.
Who's that?
Lexington Field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I've heard of them.
Yeah, I'm currently tracking their new stuff. It sounds great.
This is Troy's Bucket from back in the day, isn't it?
That's not. That is the Arizona Troy's Bucket.
That's totally, yeah.
We dude. So
I didn't think you guys were that ska. dude.
we had some weird beef with them because they started around the same time, dude. It
Hey,
was
that is a Troy's Bucket.
it was hilarious.
Yeah. Really? What happened?
Just
Just the
this
name
is well
conflict?
before social media or any of that stuff. So we were just constantly
I know.
just leaving what was it, guest book comments. Yeah, I'm sure you remember that. Like everybody having
Yeah.
their own little
MySpace, maybe?
GeoCities, Angel Fire thing. No, social media didn't really exist. Like MySpace was kind of the beginning of that.
Right.
But everybody had those crappy websites that they made, like they hand coded or used I don't know, Front Page or AOL PageMaker or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they look generally terrible, but everybody was like, "Oh yeah, I found this cool guest book script. People can just leave messages there." And then I actually remember they left a bunch of messages on ours, and we so we went and found theirs and left a bunch of messages on theirs, and it just turned into this
It's
internet.
like talking shit, kind of.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, we were the real Troy's Bucket." And we're like, "Dude, you guys are ska." And, you know, obviously I don't have anything against ska at this point, but at the time I was like, yeah, well, pop punk's better. Whatever.
Right. Yeah. I think the name was inspired from Goonies, right?
Absolutely.
Troy's Bucket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to play that clip at the beginning of our sets.
Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here. That's all over the second we ride up Troy's Bucket.
And being Troy, I got asked if I was in that band.
Did you really?
Back in the day, a few times, I recall, yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Robbie was in the band, right?
Robbie was in the band
For a little bit?
before and then after me.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, actually, you know, he was pretty funny when I joined the band. Apparently, and you know, if you're listening out there, Robbie, no hard feelings.
I saw him recently at a wedding within the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
Random.
Yeah, he was a good dude, but it was just like, oh yeah, you play octaves, man. That's not like a real lead guitarist. And I'm like, yo, dude,
Hey,
you're
kind of true. No.
yeah, but you're in pop punk, man.
I know.
Like
That's what you're doing.
Lead guitar is like
Especially like in the late 90s.
a pretty narrow band at that point.
Right.
I don't know. You know,
That's funny.
it's not like modern pop punk where you got some guys shredding arpeggios and like, you know, like movements or whoever.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is pop punk. I was like,
I know.
is it?
If you're harmonizing octaves, you're like, you're incredible, you know?
Oh, yeah,
Back
like-
in the late 90s.
Like what, like Lagwagon or something, or like early NoFX where they're just like octaves everywhere, and you're like,
whoa,
this sounds amazing.
these guys are good.
Yeah.
How's the scene changed in 20 years?
Oh man, that's a long question.
It's tough, huh?
It's gone through a lot of weird shifts.
Yeah.
I feel like the scene today is actually probably more reminiscent of the late 90s.
Yeah.
At least in terms of band attitude.
Okay.
Like venue wise, it's pretty bare.
yeah.
Like all ages scene is just gone. You basically have Soma and
Yeah.
Queen Bees, but
And
you
the
know.
breweries now. you
Are
know.
they doing all ages shows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know.
The Legacy's all ages. I think most breweries are. I don't know how they get away with that, but they do.
They probably have security staff or something already on hand.
Yeah, I guess it's just sort of, I don't know. It's coded as a restaurant or something, dude. I don't know. But yeah, no, I hear you. No more Epicenter, no more Scene. You know, those
The
two.
scene, dude.
The Scene. I saw a Yellow Card at the Scene.
Dude, we played a bunch of random shows at the scene with bands that like you would not expect us to have played with.
A lot of nationals went through there, actually, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who?
Who do we play with?
Yeah, who are
Jeez.
you referring
Let's see. There was a show with Slick Shoes.
to? Okay.
There's that's Plain White Tees.
Wow.
Rooney.
Yeah.
Like
Just
you know,
randoms.
not big bands now, but
That was a cool spot. I think Universal Sound was right next door or something like that, right? Universal Studios.
There was always that reggae band jamming when you were
Yeah.
like, and they were like, oh, let's take all this shit off the walls.
yeah.
Like, just have the window open. People can watch us jam when they're waiting in line.
Yeah.
I never figured out who they were, but you know that might have been a good marketing. Like, just put their name up on the wall.
To go back to the scene, I don't know. Social media obviously has been a game changer.
Yeah,
You know, kind of cool to experience the scene without Facebook and Instagram. Although I think it's a great tool, obviously, for bands.
yeah.
Personal, it can be annoying, but if you're in a band, dude, or if you're a photographer or a videographer, I mean, it's just perfect.
I think it's kind of hard to get people to keep up on social media. Like once you're in that groove of
It's just
posting
flooded.
like every day or at least every other days where you know you're alive basically,
Right.
then it's great.
Right.
But when you have a band who posts like, I don't know, once a week or even once every 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and they think they're killing it on social media, you're kind of just like,
Right.
I mean, the algorithm's going to screw you.
Is that right?
Yeah, because the less that there's a point of oversaturation, but the less that people see you regularly and interact with your posts, the less that algorithm is going to think that you're important enough to throw you into other people's feeds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean they still have to be following you regardless, but
Right.
that the way that it works is
Interesting.
Just, yeah. The same thing is, even those crap spam comments you get,
Yeah.
like the general rule is reply to them with more than 3 words. Huh. Which is like, I don't want to do this. I don't,
Wow.
the same guy who's like, hey, check me out. Look at my cartoons. I can make you some caricatures or make you a fat logo or something. I'm like, dude, you post every single time.
Right.
From like 9 different accounts.
Yeah.
On every post I make.
So Instagram just wants to see you interact and be social, and the more you do that, the more you're thrown out there and exposed to
Yeah.
followers.
I think it's kind of like, it's a little different
That's
than
interesting.
Facebook, because Facebook, it's like if you interact with people,
Yeah.
you're on top of their feed no matter what.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It's weird.
I usually, I'm fucking up big time with Ready, Set, Survive then. Because what I do is I try not to post at all. I only post our show flyers. And we only play like once every couple months. So literally, if you look at RSS's like Instagram, it's like once every couple months. But then I'll pay. Sometimes I'll pay just to get it out there. You know? But that's whatever.
I feel like the pay posts are kind of hit and miss. Like sometimes they go over great. Like I've done a couple of those for clarity. Like it's been a while, but like I don't know, a couple of years ago I was posting, like doing promoted posts or whatever they're called. For clarity, and everything felt like it was working. Like I was getting constant traffic, and then there was just a drop off. So it's like maybe there's a cap or something. Based on who sees your ad, and they're like, oh, this isn't working for him, kill it.
How do you promote? Do you? Or is it a lot of word of mouth?
For me, the majority is word of mouth.
Yeah, a lot of referrals, huh?
Yeah, it's been a ton. I have an ad up on Craigslist that I renew whenever I remember to.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hanging out, like
Totally.
Once every couple weeks I'll be like, oh man, I forgot to renew it, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a decent amount of business from there in the past, but recently it's all just kind of like people like, hey man, what's the lowest deal I can get to record vocals? I'm like, I don't know, I don't really want to work with you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could see how that would be aggravating because, not to hate on musicians, but the average band isn't going to have a huge budget for the most part.
I mean,
I don't know why. Why don't musicians have money?
We're
It's not a hot commodity. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like how much music do you listen to every month? Or just take a day.
A lot.
So how many songs have I listened to today? Let's say an hour a day. How much money do I pay for those songs?
I mean, if we're talking
these days
in terms of Spotify.
I mean, I do pay Spotify. So to answer my own question, I pay $10 a month to listen to unlimited music.
Yeah, right.
Like probably 2 hours a day of music. So that kind of answers my question. That's why musicians aren't balling. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, honestly, I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think if you want to dive back to the scene comment, it's just that when we were growing up, there was nowhere online that gave you that much access to music.
No, not at all.
The closest thing we had was like mp3.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved mp3.com, but the $1.33 check for the 7 plays that we got.
Right.
Like even then, like you were just kind of like, whoa, I got paid for my music.
Still more than Spotify.
Way more than Spotify. I don't know. It's kind of, I understand the way that things evolved with, smartphones and all that. It is kind of a bummer to see music reduced to less of a necessity and more of just like, almost just like background noise.
Yeah.
Like that much bums me out. But at the same time, the people who are really making music to make music, the people who are really enjoying themselves and doing it because it's something they love and not because they want to get famous and get on TRL that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Which, that was driving a lot. There was a lot of
TRL.
Dude.
Carson Daly.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many pop punk bands made it on that? Like
right.
10.
Yeah, Blink.
Well, you had
maybe Good Charlotte.
Yeah, Blink. Well, Good Charlotte. even if you were like a pop punk kid, you were like, yeah, those aren't pop punk guys.
Right.
It's just pop. But yeah, you need to go back and listen to that record now. It's totally pop punk.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
You had like Newfound Glory. They made it.
Did they?
Simple Plan.
I was a big Newfound Glory fan back in the day, for sure.
I just remember because they had that video. I think it was Dressed to Kill. Mm-hmm. And Ian is the bassist. He was always just like, there's that wide angle shot that goes around him. And, he never wore a shirt.
He was the big guy, right?
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
And so it's just like this wide angle shot rotating around him, like bending down, looking at the camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is weird. Good song, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I always hate on Spotify, but it's whatever. It gets people out there.
I mean,
and to,
what other alternatives are there at this point? iTunes is shut down, isn't it?
I think it's moving to Apple Music, and I don't know what the differences are going to be.
I know they were talking
just streaming.
I mean, I haven't been on iTunes in years, so really, all my music was on there.
Yeah,
but I don't think that I've personally used it in at least 3 years.
Yeah,
it's been a while,
and that's why they're not around. You times a million others,
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is when you have a streaming service like Spotify or Apple Music,
I don't blame you.
Whatever else is up, Tidal, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who's using it, but
yeah,
we have the best quality. Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the fact that you can get music for free is the point that I'm going back to. It does sort of strengthen my point that is the reason why musicians are not making money, dude. I mean, for the most part.
But I mean, you also got to think. So for me,
not local musicians, because now take my band. We're not getting 1,000 streams per day.
Yeah,
kind of thing. No one's. Really.
I mean, locally, you're not getting 1,000 streams per day unless you're getting ready to break out or you're paying for your plays.
Right.
And those guys drive me nuts.
Which is another thing. Yeah, the pay to get streams, dude. Or how about the pay to get followers?
Dude.
On Instagram. I mean, I don't hate on people
the faceless people
do that, but it's like, I don't know. It's just so fucking like phony.
I mean, why don't you hate on them? They're not.
I guess I kind of am.
Yeah, they're not. they're not really. They're not connecting with real people.
Right.
It's like if you go look at their follow list, it's all faceless people and like weird
different
gibberish
languages.
Names.
Yeah.
Yeah, like gibberish or different languages, and you're just like, these aren't real people. There's no way they like your music.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, something organic can happen where a lot of those people in different countries can somehow latch onto your music, but it's not going to happen by you paying for followers.
Right.
I don't know. Like the thing that bugs me the most about people paying for all those things is you never know what your real numbers are.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, say something happens and it does take off. Mm-hmm. How are you even going to know?
Yeah.
Like, for a while, the big thing on Instagram was like, I'm going to go follow all these accounts and they'll follow me back. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people did that. They're like, I'm going to go follow 10,000 accounts. Mm-hmm. And they wound up with like 5,000 followers.
Right.
But then these apps started appearing where like, if you're not following me, I'm going to unfollow you. So the thing was, you go follow 5,000 people, 10,000 people, and then you unfollow them in like increments. So you wind up with like a ton of followers and you're at like, I don't know, 1,000 or something.
Yeah. Does it look bad to be following a lot of people and then not have a lot of followers? I've always thought for the most part that in general, it kind of does.
I mean, ultimately for me,
like you're interested in others, but others aren't interested in you.
Yeah, right. I think,
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I mean, my rule of thumb basically on like a personal account is if I know you, I'll follow you kind of thing.
Right.
If I know you and I'm just not interested in what you're saying or whatever, I'll probably be like, because you can mute people now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of like.
I wish you could do that in real life.
Sometimes.
Like, do you ever watch the fucking Black Mirror?
I've been meaning to.
There's some really good episodes.
I watched one episode and it was wild. It was like some dude got sucked into a computer game, essentially.
Yeah. It's like futuristic Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Real technology driven, but there's this one episode, and I forget what it's called, but you see people's rating right above their head. So if I were to look at you, I want to say it's like on a scale of 1 to 10. So it's like your credit score, your social rating, bro. Yeah, it's
definitely
scary, but it's not far-fetched, dude. And I want to say like China was experimenting with something like that, but it's like you cruise around, and if someone gives you like a bad look or doesn't respond the way that you like, you can look them up online, and you can do a little negative mark.
I mean, dude,
and then everybody sees that.
We're not far from
like
that.
Fucking right physically over your head.
Dude,
it's scary, dude. It was a scary episode because it's I think there's a lot of truth to that. I don't think that's a far-fetched idea.
Well, I've got a lot of like, cousins and a few nieces and nephews, and they're all in high school right now. And they're just the amount of conversation that they have
right
without a second thought on Instagram is insane to me.
Yeah.
So it's weird because like for me, I'm like, man, I would never discuss this stuff in a post or a comment anywhere. And they're just like having these conversations, and you're like, this is pretty revealing information.
Right. Yeah, I'm a little scared for my daughter. I grew up without it. You did too. So we saw life without it. And I don't know. I feel like growing up with, I always say this, social media and stuff like that could be harmful. I think it is 100% harmful. When Elon Musk says that it's harmful, I tend to agree.
I mean, I think, our generation, man, it feels aging to say that.
We're old, dude. I feel old as fuck right now.
Yeah, our
goddamn kids and their social media and their stay off my lawn.
Yeah, what's an Instagram?
What's an Instagram?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think our generation got the opportunity not only to see like the world without any of this stuff, but also to learn how the world changed with it.
Right.
And now, like I'll talk to my cousins, and I'll bring up like a home phone, and they're just like, what's that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's when you had a cord attached to your phone. They're like, why would you have that?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean?
The rotary phone.
Like, you don't know what a landline is? They're like, oh, is that like when you have like one of those phones on the wall and you like the rotary? I'm like, not necessarily, but kinda.
No, man.
It's like
my dad always used to have dimes in his pocket for the payphones.
Man.
Yeah, back in the 1930s.
I feel like I don't even carry change anymore.
I know.
Same
with cash.
Everything's
I never have cash.
Yeah, no,
Personally.
I have cash when I have forgotten to put it in the bank.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, we're ranting and raving.
Oh, unreal.
This will go on for hours if you let it.
I feel like like a lot of people say, it makes everyone posts all their good moments, So in that regard, it's like you're seeing everyone at their best, and it can be sort of depressing, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it consensus?
Well, a lot of these people almost like stockpile photography or moments on their phones, and they're just like, oh man, I can post this whenever I want or whenever I have a lack of good times, or who knows what the mentality is.
Yeah.
Like for bands, that's an excellent mentality.
Totally.
Like, you got all these photos, cool. Post one a day.
Exactly.
And mix it in with like a casual moment at practice, or oh haha, I was going around town and caught this thing on Sirius Radio. Oh look, it's this band I know. I don't know,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Point is like you have content if you have like a photographer come out to your shows.
Right.
So when you a lot of bands will post everything at once. They're just like, I want to get all this out there. I want people to see it. It's like,
Right.
No, man. Like,
Slowly
spread it out.
Release it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget about that sometimes. That's a good point.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, it gives you the opportunity to kind of consistently have stuff going, and people always see you because there's always visibility, because the algorithm's like, this guy's a regular user.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of like Spotify and all that, do you master, going back to what you actually do and what we should actually?
Oh
be
yeah, hey, how about that?
Talking about here, do you master your tracks differently to accommodate Spotify?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have some limits or something, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
They use what's called a Lufs scale.
Okay.
I do not remember at all what it stands for, but basically it's supposed to measure more dynamic range rather than volume level.
Okay.
So you have here's the issue you have. All the streaming services have different levels where they would like your music to be.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're too hot, it's going to bring all that down. And because of the way that they do it, because of the way that they normalize stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily going to take it down an even amount across the board. It's going to take peak level and normalize it down to whatever their level is. So sometimes if you've got a really hot mix for Spotify, you can wind up having a quieter song after that normalization is on.
Ah, gotcha.
And the crappy thing is the reason it's a problem specifically with Spotify is that by default it's on for all users.
Oh, okay.
And 99% of users, myself included at this point, don't turn it off.
Don't turn it off.
And the reason I don't turn it off at this point is I want to know what it's doing to my music
I see.
that I'm putting out there.
So that normalizes all the songs. So if a hard metal song comes on and then Celine Dion comes on, Spotify doesn't want that range and volume.
I mean, hopefully you don't have that kind of playlist going on, but
I'm just thinking of my two favorite genres.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pan flute,
Pan flute,
and death pan flute.
That's cool. What's some new equipment you got over there at Clarity Recordings? What's some stuff that you're proud of? I see you post every once in a while.
Oh God.
You got some new cabs. What's some gear that maybe makes you stand out above the rest of the guys here?
I don't necessarily know if I have gear that makes me stand out. I think it's more just my how I attack a song. Just like I kind of dismantle it to a point where for me when I'm listening to someone's music, I want to hear certain things stand out.
Right.
So if there's a tone that's not working for a certain guitar part, we'll rip it apart and find something that does work, or find something maybe it's an otherwise normal guitar part that we want to stand out. We'll go crazy with effects. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the pictures of the pedals, but it's out of control at my place.
Is it? I've seen your studio. It's clean.
Have you been to my place?
No.
You got to change that.
I know. Surprisingly, I haven't.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about your wife, Regina, local violinist, musician. Yep. She played with Ready, Set, Survive, and she's going to fill in at the Sprung Monkey Show March 20th.
Yeah.
Shout out. But so her being in Ready, Set, Survive, I'm surprised I haven't gone over there, but I haven't.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. How big is it? How big is your studio there?
So basically, it's a 2-car garage that we just modified the hell out of.
Cool. Maybe 1,000 square feet, something like that.
I have no
800?
idea. It's big enough that we can do live recordings with like 5 6-piece bands.
Awesome.
It's not crazy, but it's not tiny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love what we got going on. Everyone that comes over generally loves the vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like what I do.
You're still into it?
Yeah.
Not getting burned out?
No, dude. It's the only thing I want to do. I was a web developer for 6, 7, 8 years before even touching anything recording.
Wow. A lot of code.
Yeah, lots.
HTML and like CSS and all that.
PHP, Ruby, all that stuff. Like Perl scripts, dismantling JavaScript.
Words.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, when people look at I still do, I do the Clarity website and I do a few websites for Regina and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
So like when you look at the code behind them, people are just like, what does all this mean?
Coding sucked. I was a multimedia major at San Diego State, and we touched on that, and it's tough, dude.
I actually liked it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like HTML?
No, I mean the heavier stuff.
Okay.
Like I don't know. I like
PHP and all that.
I think I grew up taking apart electronics. Okay. So yeah, I think it kind of just came naturally that when I could take apart something that like you can actually see how it works rather than just being like, oh yeah, that's a whatever chip from this machine in Japan.
Yeah.
Go find another one.
breaking things apart. I love
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, electronics. It's like, yeah, you can see all the solder points or whatever, but if you don't know how that chip works,
Right.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I can see how that chip works.
There you go.
So I don't know. I just got into that, and then
Huh.
I did it so heavily. I was a freelance developer for basically from sophomore in high school through 2007, 2008. So
Okay.
so I mean more like 10 years, I guess.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And that was how I made most of my money. I wound up I was the guy with the laptop on tour basically from the first time I went on tour. Or like I'm you know, when we were on tour, let's see, first band I went on tour with was Pensive.
Okay.
So I was doing their website. I was doing websites for a couple other bands, and I was running a thing called San Diego Beat at the time, not City Beat, San
Right.
Diego Beat. And we were on tour for, I don't know, 30 days. It was the first tour I've ever been on, 30-day tour. What the heck?
That's insane.
Yeah, it was really weird.
North America?
Yeah, but the funny part is we only played like 9 shows.
Okay.
So the booking was
One show, 2 days off. One show, 2 days off. Kind of thing.
So it was supposed to culminate with like us having a meeting with the guys from Big Mouth in New York, and we were supposed
Big Mouth?
to, yeah,
Okay.
Big Mouth
A label?
Records. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Japanese label.
Okay, cool.
So we were supposed to have like a big meeting with them. We did, but it wasn't what we expected it to be, and we basically just kind of hung out in the area for a while. We got to see all kinds of cool shit.
Nice.
Like
East
we
Coast.
yeah, dude, I immediately, even though like, so that was the first time I had left. I mean, I think I'd been to Arizona and TJ. So I really
some
didn't
culture in ya.
I hadn't left
Right.
like my safety zone.
Yeah, I hear that. I had neither until I was in my 20s, late 20s,
Yeah, I think I was 20 at this
something
point.
like that. Went to New York, but yeah, that's cool.
Dude, it was amazing. So, you know,
Good experience.
The upside to that is instead of just sitting around coding stuff and playing local shows,
Yeah.
20-year-old me got to explore New York on foot for,
That's dope.
hours.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. I love it. And, everyone kind of gets weird with like the New York attitude the first time they get it. Cause it's kind of like sarcastic and hard. And
Right.
I'm like, I love this.
Yeah.
These are my people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. No, I hear that. When I was out there, yeah, I was expecting that. I had one woman that was sort of bitchy, but I kind of asked for it. And then all the other interactions I had, people were very friendly, actually.
Yeah. I mean,
They're it's a busy city, dude. Like,
it's more
they
like
don't want to be fucked with.
it's more like the people on the street than anything.
Right.
But we did wander into a pizza shop, and the lead singer at the time, he you know how like all the pizza shops, at least that I went to in New York, were like pizza by the slice.
Yeah.
So like you order what's in front of you, and you can add stuff. Mm-hmm. For some reason, he decided to ask them to remove stuff.
Oh.
And you're like, dude, just take a cheese pizza and add what you want. He's like, well, would it be more expensive to do this, or would it be less expensive? He's like, tell you what, dude, if a quarter makes a difference in your daily budget, we'll take up a community collective and get this done for you. And he was like, that guy was so rude to me. And I was like, this is hilarious.
You deserved it.
Dude, me and the guitarist were just like, what?
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Grimaldi's was the pizza spot I went to. Do you remember?
I
the
don't
name of that one?
I don't remember the
Yeah.
name of it. It was I think it was
pizza's
like
good out there.
It was a block away from Arlene's Grocery.
Okay.
Wherever we played there with some random country rock band.
Nice.
Pop punk versus country rock that night.
Really?
Yeah, that was
cool.
weird. I wasn't 21 yet, so they were just like, "Oh, you got to
Stay outside?
No, they were like, "You got to stay over here." I was like, "In the smoking section?"
The kiddie area.
'Cause this
The
is-
smoking section.
Dude, they still had smoking in bars for
Right.
whenever I was out there that first tour. The next time I went through, it was gone.
Huh.
But that first time I was like,
Yeah.
but they're all smoking in here.
Yeah.
Because that was gone in California.
You can't be around us serving alcohol, but let's fill your lungs with
Oh
smoke.
God. And I was just like, no, I'll go outside. Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Funny.
Yeah.
Was that pre 9/11?
No, that was 2004.
Oh, okay. Did you see
So-
Ground Zero?
Yeah.
While you're out there? Yeah.
That was kind of freaky.
Yeah.
We took I want to say the Lincoln Tunnel,
Yeah.
and we got stopped
Okay.
because it was still a huge deal to be pulling a trailer. They were just like, where are you going? What is all this? So they stopped us on the side of on the exit, on the New York side of the Lincoln Tunnel. I think it's the Lincoln Tunnel. I don't know my tunnels. My bad.
Get your shit together, man.
I know. I could tell you what freeway to take through like Denver from here and how to get anywhere, but like, I don't know what tunnel it is. It's like, what the hell is a turnpike?
Yeah, I know. I still don't know.
Yeah. It's like a junction, I think, with a couple toll booths.
I know that
don't
the
know.
Jersey Turnpike. It's the only time I ever hear that.
No idea what that means.
No.
But yeah, so they pull us over, exiting the tunnel on the New York side, and they're like, "What's in here?" We're like, "Music gear." They're like, "Oh, okay. Can you unload all of it?" We're like, "What?"
Dang.
So we're traveling with full half stacks and 8x10 because we have a 10-foot trailer, and it's stacked, like our Tetris moves paid off stacked,
Right.
like
Yeah.
fully. And I'm just like, what?
We are not terrorists.
They're like, yeah, no, we just got to check everything. So we literally unload our entire lives essentially next to this place.
Dang.
And they have a dog go through and sniff every single item. They're like, all right,
Really?
you guys are good to go. And they walk away. And we're like, yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll load it up ourselves. Thank you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
Yeah, that was
Can't blame them, I guess,
that was interesting.
for being thorough, but yeah, crazy.
I got to play CBGB while I was out there before it closed.
Oh, cool, man.
And that's like probably my favorite part about that trip.
Right on.
Yeah, that was rad.
So you got some good experience at a young age. You were 20. You hit the road, and
Yeah, dude, we
That's
wound up spending, I mean, honestly, from 2004 to 2005, and then again 2006 through 2007 ish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was on the road with them a lot. I mean, we probably covered 600 shows.
wow.
Yeah,
And what band was that?
I was
again?
pensive.
Pensive.
Yeah.
Okay. They have some stuff online still?
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff. I was on the Something About the Stars CD.
Check it out.
It's good stuff.
I can always take some of this out in post-production.
Yeah.
PENSIVE.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? That doesn't look like it.
That's it, but that's not our artwork. Good. There's a Something About the Stars record. Actually, so
Summer vibes. Fuck, there's a lot of pensives.
if you go to Pensive, the 3rd of July, that was a #1 hit on mp3.com in 2003.
Was it?
Yeah.
This is you on guitar.
Bass.
Oh, you were playing bass. Singing like backups too?
Yep.
Hold on. Host Troy's Bucket.
Yep. This is 4 bands deep.
If I did lose when I had to choose, I could not imagine my life without you. I don't want to fight for me, and was love at first sight. I don't think I can.
Good bass tone.
8x10
The Ampeg.
SVT Classic.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Good old fashioned pop punk, huh? It's got that sound for that era, for sure.
I mean, it was basically, that was a signature sound production.
Was it?
Yeah, that was
Signature sound.
that was Joe Marlette and
Wow.
Will Salazar.
Wow, what, really?
Yeah,
I want to say Joe Marlette is doing the new Unwritten Law, right?
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
yeah, he's still busy, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's over there every once in a while at Phaser Control Studios with
Yeah.
TJ, you know?
Yeah, Phaser's
Recording some
got
stuff.
a crazy room, man.
Yeah, we rehearsed there. I haven't been in the room, though. I
The
don't go in that back area.
dude, you should hit up TJ. Just check it out.
Yeah.
It's nuts. We actually did. So one of my bands in 2017, we did a music video there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, that's cool.
We did it in the attic
Yeah.
next to
yeah.
yeah.
I've heard that there's like a little attic area there. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so we it was completely random. We were looking around for warehouse space, and I'm like, man, what if we just asked TJ if we could shoot it upstairs?
Right.
And he's like, well, there's no floorboards up there, so if you guys buy the wood, you can throw a music video. I'm like, we're in.
You're like, oh yeah.
And then we go up there, and we're like, oh, there's like no floorboards. So we basically
Just beams.
Yeah. So we bought all this wood, and he's like, yeah, I'll come down. We'll put them down. And he just throws a couple nails in. We're just good to go.
Wow.
I'm like,
That's cool.
okay, this'll be interesting.
Right on.
So we're jumping around doing all this stuff, and our guitarist puts his foot through one of the brand new floorboards.
Shit.
It was funny, man.
Wow. That's rad.
Yeah, it was a good little music video. That was Aerith.
Okay. They have the 91X sessions there, right? At Phaser?
In the studio, yeah.
Yeah, in that studio. So that is the recording studio, right?
Yeah,
It looks
I
like
mean-
a lot of wood, and it's like a nice, legit studio, right?
Yeah, I forget who he paid for, like who they got to design the room, but he does a lot of rooms.
Cool.
So you see that like diagonal wood thing,
Yeah.
a lot, and there's one dude that designs a lot of them like that.
Okay.
I don't remember his name.
Okay. I've been wanting to get TJ on here. He just he never he doesn't come across as a very like social guy every time I talk to him.
Oh, dude, he's super nice.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just very busy. I don't
Yeah.
know anyone
He's with
busier than
94.9,
him.
obviously, right? Still.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. The last time I ran into him, we had a crazy conversation about everything he's got going on. He's recording a record out on the East Coast with his other project.
Is he?
Miniature.
I'll reach
And-
out to him.
Yeah,
He was in Buckfast Super B, and we are in the studio with Danny King,
yeah.
their old drummer.
Room 10,
Great guy. Yeah, Room 10. Yep.
right down the hall.
He's been there for a while, huh?
Yeah,
Danny. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's had a room since the old place, which was right in front. It's that brewery now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the old building.
Oh, was it?
So there were like 8.
Gotcha.
I want to say 8 rooms. there.
Okay. And then they moved to the back.
Yeah, we used to rehearse
Gotcha.
there with Gunpowder Sunset, Roland's band.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
had Roland on.
Yeah,
Did you hear that episode?
I did.
What do you think of Roland?
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
We've,
He's been around for a while. I wish he was a little more involved with the scene, dude. Like, when he was involved, I was sort of out of it. And now that I'm a little more involved, he seems to be, I mean, he's still with R-Dub. He's still involved, but
It's kind of strange. He still posts stuff, and I'm kind of like, well, what's actually going on here?
right. Yeah.
But Roland's a good dude. I've worked with him a ton. We, I was in Gunpowder Sunset with him. I
That's
recorded
right.
bass on a couple things for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out Roland Ware.
I was doing artwork for his stuff for years, actually.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of random stuff that came out on R-Dub. I did the artwork for.
I remember Easily Amused. Of
Oh,
course,
man.
A New Addiction.
That's a throwback.
Easily Amused, yeah.
That's like
I auditioned for that
early high school.
back in the day, yeah.
Wasn't that
It was after Fat Chance. After Fat Chance broke up.
it was Mikey, dude.
Yeah, with Mikey Landis, right?
Oh, man.
And then Mike, the drummer, Mike Silva. Yeah, I worked with both of them at Guitar Center. Danny King
Wow.
was there working the front desk.
When he had
That
hair.
was like 03. I don't think he did. Actually, you know what? Yes,
he had
did.
some.
Yeah, no, he did.
I remember
He did.
because he,
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was at first because he's brand new there. He's like, yeah, you should check out my band. Just hands me a drumstick.
Transit War.
It's
spell
Toronto.
Spell
He hands me a
Toronto.
drumstick with Spell Toronto on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. And they were good, but it was just kind
They
of
were
like,
good.
what a weird marketing technique.
I was listening to them. I always like to go back and listen, like to, Transit War, Spell Toronto, Stranger 6,
Oh, yeah.
old school guys, Pivot. I'm going to have Agent 51 on. I just booked them. I don't know if you remember them.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they actually recorded at my uncle's studio in the late 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They recorded, I want to say, the very first demos of Red Alert
Okay.
and
She's My Heroine. That was kind of their single. I reached out to Dogwood. I've been talking with them, dude. I'd love to get them on here.
man, yeah, Mikey was actually the drummer for that Pensive record.
It's a small community, man.
Yeah.
I always like to go back. I don't know. Now that I'm older, I have a different perspective. So it's like, I don't know.
The guys from Dogwood, dude, they practiced in my first band's garage
Really?
when they lost their rehearsal space.
Okay.
And we were just like, this is crazy.
Those guys had a good
Dogwood,
name.
man, they're practicing in our garage.
Right.
This went on for like 2 months.
Yeah. They had a really good name.
Yeah. Dude, they were so fast.
All my worries and regrets come pouring down. Yeah, they're pouring down.
You were just like, this is crazy punk.
Totally. Do you think that bands like that would have been as big in today's scene? Like Pivot, Dogwood.
I mean,
Do you think they would have stood out?
they were fantastic musicians.
Totally.
Like, I mean, dude, in terms, and I mean, you had your anomalies back then that still couldn't play their instruments, but in terms of like
Right.
bands, the caliber of bands has gone very extreme at this point. It's
Right.
like in two different directions. You got guys who are fantastic at playing, and then you have other bands who are just like, man, did you practice
what
at
are you
all?
Yeah.
And I mean, I get that in the studio
you
too.
see that no, you're on the front lines of that.
Dude, all the time. And somebody will come in and I'm just like, go home. Like you're not
Practice.
ready to be
just
here.
practice more. Yeah. Not even trying to be a dick. You're probably, just advising them go home and rehearse, right?
Yeah, and I mean,
or
dude,
maybe you're being a dick also.
I mean, I think
It's okay either way.
it's a lovable, dick.
Lovable dick.
I don't know.
And that's the snippet I'm going to use to promote this episode.
He's a lovable dick.
He's a lovable dick. I feel like there's the saturation it's oversaturated now maybe with bands. You're just aware. Back in like 20 years ago, back in the good old days, I mean, you really had to be good to like stand out, I feel. Right? Or am I wrong? Whereas now it's like
I
no
think-
matter what you're recording, you can get it out there. And
Oh yeah, dude, accessibility to recording is crazy now.
right.
Which like a lot of these bands will literally record their first demos, air quotes.
Yeah.
They can't see that. So they'll literally record their first demos with programmed drums and release them.
yeah.
And like they sound decent.
Yeah.
And
The DIY is
usually what gives it away at that point is the cymbals, because the cymbals just sound like crap. No matter
I
what.
gotcha. Yeah.
But you put them low enough in the mix and no one's going to say anything. Or they're going to be like, man, I don't even care because this song is amazing.
Yeah.
But, dude, the accessibility is just nuts. Like, you can go buy a $150, 2 or 4 channel interface at Guitar Center. Go
Yeah.
home, use like free plugins, and record an album if you really want to.
I know.
There's a lot to learn.
Right.
You're not going to sound great immediately. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I had no formal training when I started. Granted, I was making demos for years.
Just with your own band.
Oh man, I mean, what was I using? Cakewalk guitar tracks.
M box or something.
No, dude, even worse.
Cakewalks.
A
Cakewalk.
Line 6 guitar port.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm talking like this thing was $100 in 2004,
The port.
and I was using the Pod Farm.
Yeah.
Like, and all my demos, I was like, man, these sound so good compared to before. And I go back and listen to them now, and I'm like, what even happened here?
Right.
But I mean, it was the same thing. Those are all programmed drums. The difference is I didn't release them.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, there's bands with major releases now where it's all programmed drums.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
When I heard you talking about this on Tone Jerks, but when is a song done? Like, can you overdo production?
I think at a certain point, can you overdo production? Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
but it really
How
just
do you know? That's what would bother me as a producer or engineer is like just not knowing when.
I think it just
fucking
depends on
stop.
it depends on what the artist wants. Like if they're bringing you references of we want to sound like this and they're overproduced records,
Right.
you're just kind of like, all right, this is
How
gonna
much money do you have?
is going to be an adventure. Yeah, I mean, the weird thing is I do flat rate for all my production stuff
Oh, cool,
just because
man.
I don't want bands to think that well, one, I don't want them to be thinking about the clock the whole time. And two, I don't want them to feel limited by their financial resources.
Okay.
So like I want to push bands to get better. I want to push bands to find a new level for themselves. Are they necessarily going to come out with that ultra polished sound that they're looking for without already knowing going in what they're playing. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Right.
But at the same time, usually they come out of it knowing their parts better,
Yeah.
like crazy. Because
Tightens you up.
I drill that in. The industry will tell you. I drill that into people.
Nice.
I'll just turn around and be like, no, 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 almost, not quite there. No. Yeah, I could take 2 notes out of that one if you want, but I think you could still play it better. It's just like, I'll basically spend an entire day locking in 2 songs,
Really?
like on one instrument.
Wow.
So like,
You still chop them up too, huh?
I mean, a little bit. I try not to, but
You try to keep it organic.
sometimes if someone's not picking up on like a strum pattern right away, I'll kind of be like, all right, well, play it like this, and then play this other part, however you're playing it, and I'll make it work.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I like to I worked a lot with Corey from the Dangerfield on really actually locking in his strums.
Yeah.
And I feel like coming in, he had a very good idea of what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as it always happens, you lay down the drums and things change.
Totally.
You're just like, all right, well, it's not quite what you're playing anymore. So
Right.
let's go back to do this. And I kind of sat with him and Pete and was like, hey, this is kind of how it should go.
Mm-hmm.
We should really be confident about this before we go forward.
Right.
And a couple times they would leave and come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got
It
other
came
stuff
out
I can
great.
do. Yeah.
It came out great. I checked their stuff out.
They got a new full length that is in the mixing stages right now.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yep.
What's up with We Are the World? Did that release?
It's done. They're
Okay.
shooting. I want to say they're shooting a video next weekend.
Oh, dope, dude.
Yeah.
Who was all involved with that one?
Dude, I can't even name everybody involved. That was kind of like a what the hell moment.
Right on.
Where like I'm looking at Corey like you're bringing how many people in here? Like you better be scheduling this right.
Was it a group vocal or did individuals come in
So
and just record leads?
they came in basically 4 at a time.
Okay.
So they would come in, they would record their vocal for like the verse part or whatever, and then we'd do a chorus together.
Okay, cool.
So I'd have them do like a group chorus, and then I'd have them do an individual chorus.
Oh, yeah.
And it came out great.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's really fun.
I think it's a great idea. The Dangerfield is going to release a punk rock version of We Are the World.
I don't know if they're releasing it as the Dangerfield,
Okay.
but
It'll just be the
it's
San Diego scene or
orchestrated
something.
by the Dangerfield.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. Well, cool, man. Nice chatting with you. Again, clarityrecordings.com. If you want to record your band, hit up Sean Tolley at Clarity Recordings on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then at Sean Tolley. You probably don't-
Stereo Sean.
That's right. Yeah. Do you like people following you personally? I don't.
I don't mind it.
I separate it. I just started doing that.
I mean,
don't know.
if I don't know you, I probably won't follow you back.
Yeah.
But if you've
There you
got some
go.
cool stuff to do,
Yeah.
then yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here, all right?
Oh no,
Yes.
is this a Troy's Bucket song?
No. I'm
You
gonna
can't
play
find them online.
I'm gonna play some past bands that you recorded. All right?
Okay.
And I believe you recorded. I know you've recorded them. I just don't know if you've recorded these specific songs. And you have to tell me who it is, all right?
Okay.
Easy.
Industry.
Dang, that was quick. The Industry. Not a big fan. Just kidding. I love those guys. Even if they don't like my podcast, I still love them. All right, who's this?
Dangerfield.
The Dangerfield. This came out good, dude. And they got a music video for it.
Yeah, I actually liked it.
Just chilling and eating cereal and playing video games, right?
It was pretty good. Like when
I miss
he,
those days.
He told me the concept for that video, and I'm like, "Is it gonna work?" And then showed me the video. I was like, "This is great, man. Good job."
Matches the song.
It's totally Corey.
Yeah. I love Corey, dude.
Yeah, he's a good.
He
dude.
came over and helped me out with my amp a while back. All right.
Lost Dakota.
Yes, Falling for You. You recorded this, right?
Yep.
Got some electronic elements in this stuff, dude. I like Lost Dakota a lot.
Yeah. So
Really good live, too.
Christian showed up with all that stuff, kind of like like pre-programmed, and we just kind of cut it up and like mastered it essentially.
That's cool.
He's good. He's really good at what he does.
They're really good. Yeah, they're both very talented.
Yeah, man.
Two-piece, man. But they pull it off. They got their backing tracks.
Yeah, we made sure they had all that stuff. I told them I was like, hey man, if you guys want a bassist for a live show at some point, I'm down to play.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's fun stuff.
Yeah.
I actually played bass on that record a lot.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. This next one I didn't know you recorded until I looked it up on your, I believe it was your website.
Oh, the Naked Eye stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did those?
Yeah, we just did this, I want to say September.
Oh yeah. Naked Eye's cool. We had them on. This is the Naked Eye. The Naked KUSI.
Threw me off at that intro for a second. I'm like, oh yeah, wait, I remember this.
The Beatles?
Yeah, but it's his voice.
Yeah.
We got like a karaoke
For a
version.
cover or something. These guys are, he played keys with Ready, Set, Survive at on KUSI.
Oh man, his voice is crazy.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
We had a cover, like a parody cover song for God, what was the name of it? That football thing that we had that kind of like shut down in March of last year. Do you remember that? It was like I don't remember the name of it. I never got into, like, I'm not a huge football fan.
XFL or some shit.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but they wrote a parody song about it. It was
Okay.
like, you know, basically screw Dean Spanos kind of thing. And like, just like,
Oh, the Chargers leaving San Diego?
No. It was
Something
about,
else.
it was basically just to be like, haha, this is our team, not the Chargers.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And
Nice.
we'll release it at some point, but it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, nice. Those guys are cool. I like them a lot. Here's another one that you recorded at Clarity Recordings.
Yeah. Lexington Field.
Yeah. You played with these guys, you said?
I didn't play with them. I recorded them. I recorded this. I recorded them. You can actually find some other stuff of theirs that I recorded in the very early days of Clarity, and the difference in quality is wild.
This is Christmas at the Pub.
Yeah, they just released this in December.
This is their newest release, yeah.
Miss
Yeah.
at the pub.
I haven't gotten into them too much, but I'll start checking them out.
I will be there.
But this is not recorded at Clarity?
No, we did this one.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this was fun.
Nice. Next.
Toilet.
Did you record them?
Yeah.
Okay. Toilet. Toylit.
So I actually met these guys on tour with Short Stories,
Okay.
and they were so raw and crazy that we were like, this is nuts. like initially it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, I don't know what I think of this, and then by the end of the set I was like, okay, I get it.
You're sold.
Yeah. And then they hit me up, I want to say a year later. They're like, hey, we want to come record with you. I'm like, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah, they're cool dudes. They're from Tucson.
Tucson.
Drove all the way out.
I see what you mean about his voice.
But dude, live, he's like hitting himself with a microphone and just like thrashing all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, maybe we need to recapture that in the studio. He's like, I think I can do it just standing still.
You have to beat yourself in the studio, dude. We got to shout this guy out.
Justin Lin, yep. This is a fun record.
Justin Lin. Great record, dude.
Garrett, man.
Garrett E. Land, right?
Yeah,
Mr. Save Ferris himself.
yeah, that's crazy.
So he's like an official member, huh? I reached out to him, dude, and I wanted to get him on to kind of talk about that.
I think, he's an official member or touring member or something.
Like
I don't
touring
know.
member,
I don't know.
dude.
I don't know how it works
That's
anymore.
pretty cool, man. I'm stoked for him.
Yeah, he's doing good.
He deserves it. It's Justin Lin. Justin Lin and the Rotation, I believe, right? That
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think
was the Rotation involved. We don't know.
well, we had basically Justin played everything on that record except for the
Oh,
drums.
did he?
Yeah.
Except
So the
for Garrett.
drums are Justin, or drums were Garrett, and then everything else was Justin.
Gotcha.
I think I think I noodled around a couple riffs or whatever, but
Nice,
for
dude.
the most part, he already had an idea of what he wanted to do, and then we just kind of locked in with some crazy tones.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Talented dude. Back in the day, he played with Larger Than Life.
Yep.
We played with these guys.
Chasing Claymores.
Yeah. Played a show with them at the 710 Beach Club. Punk rock those 80s, rock talk. They didn't bring any equipment. They wanted to use all of ours.
Really?
Okay, bro.
Hey, you know,
I think they were sort of split up for a while, and that was like a reunion show, and they didn't really have a ton of gear, maybe, or who knows? I don't know what the fucking deal was.
I think they played one of the Three Being Cool nights, and they rented a bunch of gear from me.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. They just don't own gear, maybe.
I think they just wanted like consistent stuff they could rely on.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know.
Gotcha. I don't know if you're gonna know this one.
No idea who this is.
That's Sean Tolley singing.
This guy sounds like a lovable dick.
I'm gonna see you singing in a local band, dude. You have a good voice,
Working on
and
it.
I like your songs and everything. Are you?
Yeah, I've got a couple
You
new
want to
things.
shout that
in
out?
there. I mean, they're not really.
Okay.
You know, they'll
Get
get there.
Garrett on drums, maybe, huh? He's over at your pad a lot, right? Garrett Eland,
Yeah, he's one of my session guys.
session guy. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
every once in a while I've got like a singer songwriter that comes in and doesn't have a full band and wants to kind of turn it into something.
Yeah.
And Garrett's one of my go-to guys. Garrett Kiyoki.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Kyoki's a good
Okay, I
dude.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kiyoki was actually in one of my pop punk bands in 2015, 2016.
Was that the cover band?
No, it was Nothing Sacred.
Okay, Nothing Sacred.
Yeah,
Because he played in Pop Punk Mayhem, didn't he?
he did.
Okay. Cool. Garrett Eland, we had him on with Justin Lin.
Yeah, this was this drummer. This is Eric Brosgold. He's currently the drummer of Alive and Well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay, next one. Good friends. They were on Palapalooza. Pretty sure you recorded this.
Did I?
Maybe not.
What is this?
Colored Tell Monday. Leia.
Is this?
Colored Tell Monday.
Something feels weird about it.
Is this Jesse singing?
This is Jesse singing. Oh man, I haven't heard this record in a minute. I did do this.
Yeah. It's Jesse now with These White Pigeons. Now they have Leia singing.
Yep,
All right, I'm bringing it back. I stumped you.
it's a minute.
I stumped you on one.
I mean, dude, this was 20,
This is Rise off Make Your Mark.
2016,
And-
2015, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Good artwork. I like that.
How has it been 5 years since this record?
Has it really?
Dude, I haven't.
You know, Jesse got shot, right?
Yeah, that was nuts.
Crazy kid. I was scared for him.
Yeah,
You know that story?
he's a good dude, man.
He is, man. Yeah.
That freaked me out for a
Love
bit.
Jesse. He was doing like a YouTube vlog there for a little bit because he left San Diego and then he came back.
Yeah,
I see him around. I see him at shows.
yeah, I see him
really
once in a while.
supportive guy.
He'll come over and play some video games, and we'll hang out. He was really big into Game of Thrones for a bit, so we watched that together.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
he's a
I
good
call
dude.
him 50
He-
Cent.
He was actually going to be the original singer for Nothing Sacred, but it
Okay.
just didn't work out.
Gotcha. Who else was in that band? You, Eric? Was it
No,
Eric?
no. So it was me, Kiyoki.
Oh, Kiyoki. I'm sorry.
That's probably the only two people you would know.
Okay.
This dude named Pat, fantastic guitarist. He was in a.
Did he used to play in Alive and Well?
No. He was in a cover band. He was in a hardcore band called Nowhere Safe,
Okay.
which we always thought was funny because he joined another NS band.
Oh,
It's
got
like
it.
Nowhere Safe to Nothing Sacred.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of the guy in Awake. Do you know that, Pat?
Pat. Yeah,
That's from.
yeah. He was in Aerith with me.
Okay. That's
Immediately-
not him though, right?
No, different Pat.
Different Pat. Got it.
There's a lot of Pats.
Lots of Pats.
A lot of Pats. A lot of Mats.
Lots of Sean's.
A lot of Nicks.
Lots of dicks. Hey, a few dicks.
Probably.
A few. Just a couple dicks.
There's a few of those around.
Well, cool. You did pretty well. You know the bands that you recorded. That's good.
Right.
Bravo. How long has this been a career for you? How long have you been paying the bills with Clarity?
I mean, basically, I did web design full time until 2007, 2008, and then started drifting into a lot more graphic design. And then those two paid the bills while I kind of just got my feet wet.
Right on.
And then I don't know. Probably sometime around 2017, 2018, I stopped really taking full-time clients and started to focus more on music, and it's taken off like crazy.
Yeah.
I left a couple contracted the retainer positions just because I didn't really want to do it anymore. You know, you kind of get to a point where you're like, well, I've been doing this a while and it doesn't really do it for me.
Right.
Which sucks because, you know, if you're passionate about something and then you wind up eventually hating it, you know.
Yeah.
But like music for me, you know, my mom growing up, she played a lot of piano, like
cool.
crazy classical piano.
Awesome.
She's one of those people who nothing else matters if she can play her piano.
Right on.
Like she, even to this day, like it's crazy how she just becomes this different person.
You kind of zone out. That's her.
She just becomes she's instantly happy. It's
That's
nuts,
awesome.
man.
That's cool.
Yeah, she graduated from the London Academy of Musical Excellence.
Wow.
So you're kind of just like, wow, what do I do to live up to this?
Did she obviously kind of got you into music?
Yeah, she started me on piano, I want to say 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I probably played for 4 or 5 years.
Cool.
And then I discovered the electric guitar. And
Right on.
she was less than stoked about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, punk rock.
She was just like,
Yeah, punk rock kid.
yeah, I can blame my uncle for that one.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So Andy had my uncle Andy Tolley. He had a studio called Ninth Ring Records, Ninth Ring Recordings. I'm not sure which one it was. Everyone just called it Ninth Ring.
Gotcha.
So he recorded so many different bands. Did you ever hear of Carter Peace Mission?
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he recorded them early in their careers. Obviously, you know, they were really just like a pop punk college band.
He's out in San Diego?
Yeah, the studio's not around anymore. He does everything for like his own projects. He's actually his nickname is Captain Coconut because he's in a tiki themed electronic band called Tiki Tronic.
Nice.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
That'd fit perfect back here, dude.
He's hilarious.
He needs to be my house band.
I will get him back here if you want to interview him.
Is he on the West Coast? Is he
Yeah,
still out here?
He's in San Diego.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, he's actually, yeah. I didn't even think about it with all
I'm
the
kind
tiki
of
stuff.
like into, you know, I'm wanting to kind of branch out and get some reggae guys back here, you know, and
He's dude, you can find his stuff on Spotify. He's got
okay.
like electronica stuff.
Okay.
It's like dancey electronica stuff. He was in a band called Airport 81 for a bit,
Really?
mid 2000s.
So this is your uncle, huh? Fuck yeah.
There's like no vocals. He's just playing an Atari.
Is that an actual bass player? Is
Yeah. Actual drummer, actual bass player, and then him on
that
like
like a synthesizer?
a wall of synths.
Really?
Yeah, it was so fun to watch them.
So he's more of a keyboardist as well, like your mom.
He started on drums. He plays piano.
Dope.
Dude, this goes all over the place.
That's right.
This sounds
Get
like
him on.
this should be a hip hop beat.
That's your uncle, yeah. Can definitely tell those are real drums.
Oh yeah.
It feels like this should be electronic drums.
He's got like the rototoms or whatever going on between them. The E drums. They're like the old Simmons kit. I don't remember what it was.
That's crazy. I'll reach out to him. That's cool, man. And that's cool that your mom got you into it. I always try to get Lyric into keys. She doesn't seem to have a big interest with music. She's really into like arts and drawing and
Yeah.
different things. You know, I don't want to force it on her.
I feel like, you know, kids kind of choose their own way.
Whatever gets you that release. I heard something recently that really made sense. And it's like, you know, all people are really trying to do and wanting to do is get out of their minds.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And a lot of people, unfortunately, succumb to like drugs and alcohol to do that. And then other people find natural ways, you know, working out and music. And I feel like there's a lot of truth to that. I feel like people are just driving themselves kind of mad, especially with computers and social media and technology. And you know, you can relate, dude, being on a computer screen for fucking 10 hours
All day long.
and then you walk outside and you're like, holy shit, this is nice.
I mean, yeah. This is probably the longest I've been outside in a while. I mean, dude, I'm in my control room 12 to 16 hours a day the last month. It's been crazy.
Are you on a crazy, is your schedule kind of late night schedule, kind of like Regina's?
Yeah, 100%. That's why.
What is your schedule? This is morning for you, right?
That's why. Yeah, morning for me is like I'll wake up at 11:30 if you need me to.
Crazy.
It's
Okay.
like for me, you know,
You
basically
lost that hour this week too, huh?
Yeah,
the clocks. I
what
hate
the
that.
hell, man.
Why do we do that?
I don't
Lyric asked me that. My daughter asked me that. Why do we change the clocks? Straight said, no idea.
Yeah, honestly,
Back in the day, I think it was for the crops.
yeah,
something?
It's a little archaic at this point, but whatever. I'm
Stupid.
like, ultimately for me, it doesn't really change much. Like it sucks, waking up an hour earlier or whatever. But for me, it's like, okay, I'm fine. I'll be good.
We were scheduled for 2 and I made it 1:30 and I was like, oh, that's probably really fucking with him actually.
Yeah. Oh, I was just like, what? Why? I don't understand.
Why, dick?
What-
I
what
wanted to
we-
wrap up before they got home, but we ended up going longer anyways. But cool, buddy. Nice to chill with you, man. We've rubbed elbows in this scene for quite a while.
Yeah, man.
And I don't really remember hanging out with you back in the day. It's weird. Guys like you and Justin Lin, we never really sat down and hung out, but we probably played shows and
Probably.
shared the stage once or twice. So it's always cool to have guys like you back here and isolated in headphones and get to chat with you a little bit more, dude.
Yeah, man. You too.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll release this in a few weeks. ClarityRecordings.com. Check out Mr. Sean Tolley
At Clarity Recordings.
and check out his wife too. Amazing violinist, Regina
is.
Tolley. She's doing Better Half Duo. She's doing what else? What else does
she's
she
doing-
have going on?
I mean, for the most part, it's Better Half Duo, and she's doing some like solo stuff here and there.
Yeah.
She's she'll record on tracks every once in a while at someone's request.
I'm sure you use her, right, at Clarity. She's
Yeah,
your go-to
absolutely.
violinist, I would assume.
Yeah, she was on a record we did last year. This band called HK,
Cool.
and they had some really cool piano tracks,
Yeah.
and they wanted to add strings over them. I thought they were some of my favorite tracks that we've done.
Oh yeah. Very cool.
I was like, this is pretty rad.
She played with Ready, Set, Survive for a little bit, so I got to know her very well. She's
Yeah.
very, very talented, very professional,
Very
good
driven.
at what she does. Yeah, and I think she's playing with Sailor's Songbook. I know she played that one show and that tour.
Yeah, she's played a few shows with them, and
Yeah.
they kind of just play here and there.
Yeah,
I'm hoping they
I know
do more of a
toured
full time
with
thing.
Authority Zero, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was rad.
Yeah.
We got to go hang out with them for a minute, and
Cool,
they were nuts, man.
cool guys.
Yeah,
Right on.
they played the Face to Face show too,
That's right.
and that was nuts.
Regina played on that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, it
What
was-
venue was that?
that was the venue that Jared runs, the Concert Lounge
Okay,
up in Riverside,
Like
Pomona,
LA or something.
somewhere.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Sailor's Songbook is sick. I didn't get into them until I heard that she was playing with them, and then
They're-
I listened to them, and I was like, dude, that's like perfect for
Yeah, the-
violin. Like,
the
holy
music's
shit.
music's solid.
It's rad. Yeah. So cool. All the best to her. All the best to you. And
Thanks, man.
again, reach out to Sean, man, if you're interested in a professional recording for your band.
Professional
Absolutely.
recording and being talked smack to,
Being
and,
talked
and,
smack to.
and being told, hey, you're doing it wrong, but we'll make it right.
He'll teach you how to play your instrument, or he'll motivate you to learn your parts.
I'll motivate you to practice.
Yeah. Who should we end this episode with? What's a local band that comes to mind that you're really stoked on right now?
I'm really stoked on right now.
Yeah.
That's
Someone
good.
that stands out that you've recorded, someone that you're really proud of a recording.
I mean, honestly, I just really dig the Lost Dakota stuff. That was
Cool.
probably some of my favorite stuff that we recorded so far. The new industry stuff's going to be really good.
Awesome, dude.
I got Dangerfield, Westman Harris, everybody.
Cool. Yeah, shout out to all of them.
So many different
I like
artists.
Lost Dakota too. I really do. I like all the guitar layers that Christian does. And Greg is it Greg, the drummer?
Yep.
Just real wristy and like super talented. Good
Yeah.
drummer.
Yeah, he's funny. If you watch him playing, he's just like super floaty and like
Yeah.
very much like it's all about flow with him.
Loosey goosey.
He's a good dude.
We'll end the episode with Lost Dakota. Again, pleasure having you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Have a good one, brother. Bye.
I keep falling for you. Can we start somewhere new before you even have a chance to? Tell me why you care when you're never really there. I'd love to have your heart, but I know you would never share. Tell me why do you care? somewhere new before you even have a chance to tell me why you care when you're never really there. I'd love to have your heart, but I know you would never share. Tell me, why do you care? I've been warned this. Can't you see I'm all out of options? So long, my friend. I hope you let this moment sink in. The way that you say my name, it makes me feel warm as I'm burned by your flames. The way that you say my name, it drags me through hell as I burn in your flames. I keep falling for you. Can we start somewhere new before you even have a chance to tell me why you care when you're never really there? I'd love to have your heart, but I know you would never share. Tell me, why do you care?
One, two, three, four. Palapalooza, Palapalooza. We're talking to you. I'm Palapalooza.